Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing very well today. I am currently sweating my off right now because tell me how it's November and it's kind of like hot AF where I am right now. But you know what? It'd be like that sometimes. It's been a little bit of a while since I sat down and chatted about my life and what's been going on, as I've previously touched upon in a Candid Talk About Life video. And I thought, that would be kind of like a boring video, so how can we like spice it up a little bit? And I thought maybe I could share my favorite Sephora products right now because there's currently a sale going on, I believe until the 11th. And let's be real, Sephora is expensive AF. And in this economy, you'd be walking into Sephora grabbing 2 items and somehow you're already spending $75. You're totally entitled to spend money however you want, but if we're gonna engage in capitalist spending, you might as well put your money where you can get the most value out of your products. So today I'll be sharing products I truly support. Like, I'm not sponsored, I'm just endorsing products I think are really worth your money, because let's be real, we work hard for our money and we deserve to treat ourselves with actually good products. I'm gonna cut myself off because I have a tendency to ramble and it's starting to come. So let's get into the actual video. How about it? If you want to skip to the actual Sephora favorites that I have, then I'll put a timestamp down below for you to skip to. Without further ado, let me talk and rant about my life for a minute. I say this almost anytime I vent about life. I'm very, very grateful for the things I have in my life, and certainly things could potentially be worse, but I don't think that invalidates my pain or my experiences at all. I think it's just a matter of the reality of the situation and kind of the world that we live in right now, and I think it's totally okay to acknowledge your pain and feel it and vent it out if you need to. So in my previous video that I mentioned, I talked about an injury I sustained at work earlier this year. For those who are newer here or don't really know too much about me, I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse who's currently in grad school to become a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. Geez, that was a mouthful. And I mentioned earlier this year that we had a particular period of time where our behavioral health acuity was really high. So a lot of patients were just not in the right state of mind. They were really internally struggling, and it was a really tough time on my floor for the nurses and the patients. Sometimes when a patient is not being safe or they're at risk of causing imminent harm to themselves or other people, and we can't verbally de-escalate them or distract them or try to bring them to a more calm and collected state of mind, the risk of harm is just really high, then we have to do something called manual patient restraining, which is putting them in restraints. It's not ideal, I really hate doing it, but if someone's at risk of hurting themselves and other people, you just unfortunately gotta do it. There was one particular weekend where we had 13 restraints one day and 10 on the other. It was really tough, and I got hurt that weekend. There was also one particular violent incident with one of my patients that really did a lot of damage. I ended up with 2 herniated discs in my back, and the update on that is I am doing a lot better. I'm very grateful to have had time off to heal, and I'm grateful things weren't worse. Like, it really could have caused a lot of sciatica, a lot of weakness, numbness, and tingling in my left leg. That's usually the leg that's typically symptomatic for me. I did deal with that a little bit in the earlier stages of my injury, but I'm feeling a lot better now. Unfortunately, the damage that has been done to my discs is irreparable to some extent, because the way your discs work, so we have little disc, I like to call them like jelly donuts, in between each of our spinal vertebrae, right? So in between each of our vertebrae is this little disc that has this kind of gelatinous material inside it and like this outer sheet. When your back undergoes a lot of stress, or for example, like a violent injury happens, sometimes that outer sheath can just like break open and that disc material to just kind of slip out of it. Discs don't have nerve endings, they don't have a blood supply, so they can't heal like normal tissue does. Like if I got a cut in my arm, it would heal up in like a few days, it like might scab over, but it would basically return to its baseline. Unfortunately, with cartilage and spinal discs, they don't regenerate the same way. What the body does to repair it is it just produces an inflammatory response at the site of the herniation to try to absorb that material back into the body. Nothing's actually rejuvenating or regenerating that spinal disc, it's just that herniated material is just getting absorbed back into the body. My discs are never going to be the same again, and there's a really great likelihood that I will have degenerative disc disease. It really sucks, and I'm not happy about the outcome, but when things like this happen, you just gotta take it like a day at a time and just like not deprive yourself of your happiness. Like, yeah, chronic pain and a chronic injury is not fun to deal with, and it sucks, definitely. But I'm doing well, and my physical therapist that I'm working with right now says I could live a totally normal and happy life if I just really take care of myself and do the stretches and exercises I'm told to do so, which I have been. And I feel probably like 90%-ish better. And I'm very grateful to have gotten to this point. To anyone out there who's dealing with chronic pain or has chronic injuries or chronic conditions, just know that you deserve to be happy and do what you need to do to support yourself. Rely on other people, seek out therapy, use your resources to try to better yourself. And I know the pain of having something chronic, it's not fun. I think it's really important that we take accountability for being happy in our lives, because there's nothing beneficial from putting yourself down and kind of like living in the victim mindset. Yeah, it really sucks, and it's really important to feel your pain and acknowledge the situation you're going through is like really shitty, but we still deserve to be happy and we still deserve to do what's best for us. So please keep that in mind if you're watching and you can relate to the struggles I'm having right now. But with that being said, also amongst the lines of my nursing career is I got accepted into the professional advancement program at my hospital, which is really great. So for nurses and respiratory therapists, and I think other healthcare workers at my hospital, you can apply to become part of a professional advancement program. And it basically kind of hones your leadership skills, allows you to get more learning opportunities and develop more of a kind of established position at this hospital. The way it works is you have to accomplish or be in the process of doing certain things to get a certain amount of points. So to enter the first level of this program, there's 3 levels. To get points, you have to be doing things like having a leadership position on your floor, or pursuing education at a higher level, or being part of a practicing or committee chair on your floor. And I had enough points because I've been engaging in a lot of these things. It was definitely nerve-wracking because you have to write like a whole essay, you have to make a curriculum vitae, which is kind of like a resume but more in-depth, and also you have an interview with not even just one person, it was like a few, which is kind of intimidating when you kind of go onto your interview expecting like a one-on-one interview, and it turns out there's actually 3 people. But needless to say, yes, it was definitely nerve-wracking, but I got through the process and I got into my program. And I'm very excited about this, and I think I could really benefit from this program. Like I said, they provide you a lot of educational opportunities. They give you a stipend if you want to visit, for example, if you want to attend nursing webinars, seminars, stuff like that. Also give you just like a smidgen raise because, you know, you're doing really great things for your nursing career and you deserve to be compensated for that, because nursing is a hell of a job, as you know, I've kind of emphasized. So that's one of the really great things I have going for me, and I don't want to get it twisted that like I'm unhappy and I'm not living my best, because I'm very happy in my life right now. And yeah, things are a little bit rocky and there's definitely some roadblocks I gotta get over. But I think during those times it's really important to like think about the things I feel gratitude for in my life, and becoming a person who has attracted all these blessings into my life. So I'm just really proud of all the growth and all the great things I have going for me. I am loving my new apartment. If you don't know, like my previous residential accommodations, I guess you could say, was not cute. It was very dangerous at some points and we had to move out. But yes, my room is a little bit smaller, but it's a sacrifice worth making because it's newly renovated. I'm just very happy to be here and living in an actually safe apartment, which is like one of the most important aspects of an apartment, right? Or housing in general. Ugh, every time I like run my gums, I start getting oily. It's also hot AF here, so that's also probably a contributing factor. Yeah, so I guess with all that being said, like life is going great right now, despite the little struggles I'm having. Like it could always be worse, and you really gotta just kind of cling to your blessings and just find the silver linings in negative times, right? And it just be like that, and that's life, you know? So enough of me talking about myself. I really appreciate if you cared enough to listen to my little life update, if it was really much of an update at all. Let's get into the Sephora favorites, which I'm sure a lot of people are actually here for. Let's try to like rapid fire this, because I have tried to make this video once. It did not go well because my camera died multiple times and I was just so exhausted. I was filming late at night and I was like, I really just want to go to bed. So my passion was like diminished. Let's start with skincare, right? I know some people subscribe to my channel probably don't wear makeup all that much, but skincare I think is a really integral part of your self-pamper, self-care routine, which I think we should all have because we deserve to treat ourselves. And I have so many skincare favorites right now from Sephora. I think I might need to zoom through these. Oh my gosh, one of them is like propping up my camera and I really do not want my camera to come crashing to the ground. I'm all about finding a really great moisturizer, and sometimes it can be tricky to find moisturizer that works great for your skin. Everyone has different skin types. Like I feel like I lean normal, sometimes dry. So you want to be diligent making skincare purchases and seeing like what would work best for you. Maybe doing like an arm swatch or something, because people react differently to different products. So saying all that, one of my favorite moisturizers from Sephora right now is the Ole Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturizer. This has vegan peptides, ceramides, and collagen in it. This is one of those moisturizers which I feel like is really great at making your skin look more youthful. Yes, it's really hard to like prevent aging. Really the only skincare products that can truly do that to some extent are like retinoids and sunscreen. But a really good moisturizer can make your skin appear more youthful and kind of plump out and fill in lines. I don't really have much of those yet, unless I'm like being Delulu and I'm just in denial about getting older. So that's where this guy comes in. I feel like this is really great at plumping my skin. I usually put this on at night. The next day when I wake up, I feel like my skin's really hydrated, it's really plumped, and it just feels like very evened out. I really feel like my skin barrier benefits from this moisturizer. And it's really important that you find products that support your natural skin barrier, because a compromised skin barrier can lead to a plethora of problems. One of them being acne, pimples, things amongst those lines, you know what I'm saying? I do have like different skincare routines for different nights because I do like to switch it up and not constantly overload my skin every night with the same products over and over. So I will switch this moisturizer with this In Beauty Project Firming and Lifting Moisturizer. This is one of those moisturizers I like to use like gua sha motions and massages with. And I do feel like it does exactly what it says. It firms your skin, it lifts it. This also has plant-based bioretinol in it, peptides, and a ceramide complex. And all those ingredients are so key to supporting your natural skin barrier, keeping your skin looking more youthful, and also just making your skin look fresh and rejuvenated. And the retinoids in this product will help cell turnover for your skin, which is really great for getting impurities that are more deeper into your skin, closer to the surface, and kind of allowing your skin to better kind of filter that out. Sometimes I like to use an oil at night, and I'm running a little bit low on this, but this is the Ole Henriksen Hydra Barrier Nourishing Face Oil. This also has vegan peptides in it, also alongside vitamin E and cloudberry oil. This is really a great way for me to lock in all my skincare, from my serums to my moisturizer. This is like usually the last step in my skincare routine. Sometimes when you put on moisturizers and serums at night, you're moving your face around, you're like rubbing your face into your pillow. It can almost feel like it just kind of evaporates off your skin. And using an oil like this can really lock in all those skincare ingredients and help them penetrate to lower layers of your skin and really kind of boost the efficacy of them. There's, you know, the science of like hydrophilic, lipophilic, stuff like that. I feel like overall when you use a product like this, which I highly recommend, it does have a kind of strange smell, but it works. It's really a great way to increase the absorption of your skincare products and also act as a barrier to keep them from leaving your skin, if that makes any sense. Let's see, can I like safely move it? Ooh, I don't know. Whew. That got me all worked up. This is what I wanted to showcase. This is the Bright and Tight Eye Cream by In Beauty Project. This has vitamin C, tranexamic acid, and peptides in it. And this is one of those products that really can plump your under eyes if you have like little fine lines. And it has a little bit of a brightening quality to it as well. So if you want to just kind of not really wear any makeup, but you want something to cover up a little bit of the darkness, like this is not going to cover up this to the same extent as a concealer. This is something great that you can just kind of like throw on and go out the door. I feel like it really absorbs well under my under eyes. And like I said, kind of plumps them out, brightens it, and diminishes the appearance of the really subtle fine lines that I have under my eyes, which, you know, you might think that I'm Delulu, and I probably am, but I do have really, really tiny fine lines under my eyes that have gotten significantly worse once I became a nurse, and it'd be like that. Let's just talk about like some hair care and fragrance favorites right now. Oh my god, that was like Sally Seashells, so whatever the fuck. Favorite styling cream right now, this is the Moroccan Oil Hydrating Styling Cream. I get my hair treated, so having something that provides hydration and helps me kind of style it the way I want is really beneficial for me, and a product like this is fabulous. It holds my hair pretty well, but it's not so heavy. It's like kind of like that hairspray or hair mousse texture that I'm not usually a big fan of, that can sometimes look a little bit dandruffy. I feel like it just makes my hair easier to work with, which I appreciate. In terms of fragrance, I just recently repurchased this because I love this fragrance so much, and every time I wear it I get like so many compliments, and this is definitely a bougie product, but I highly recommend this if you want to spend hard-earned money on a fragrance that really works great. This is more of a masculine fragrance, I guess you could say. The reviews on Sephora, a lot of women actually wear this fragrance, and it is just like a stunning fragrance, and the bottle is stunning as well. I just want to put some on because it's just that good. Oh, I really love it so much I just shot it up my nostrils. Okay, I can't really describe the scent of this to a T because there's a lot of like unique aromas that I feel like are in here. It smells very kind of woodsy, a little bit fruity, but it's not like too pungent. It definitely has like a little bit of a kick to it, like a little bit of a spice, if that makes sense. Like vanilla, fruity, woodsy. It's the best way I could describe it, but it is potent for one. You really only need a few sprays of this and this will last you. I mean, this has lasted me for almost a year and a half and I still have quite a bit left. I could probably get another, I don't even know, maybe like another 6 months out of this. This will last you a long time. It has great staying power and it just smells amazing. Like I kid you not, I get so many compliments when I wear this, and even when I'm like going into a lift because I'm too lazy to walk to work sometimes or just too exhausted, they'll be like, damn, you smell good. What is that? And I'm just like, oh, thank you. It's Versace Eros. This, it's that good. It's really that good. I'm not a huge fan of like buying designer things, but that was worth every penny in my opinion. My face is gonna smell real good and I might break out. This is just like a little thing I want to throw into. This Moroccan oil treatment is, I really love this oil. It's like thick and sometimes when I shampoo my hair it gets really dry, and an oil like this is really beneficial for it, and it kind of just makes my hair look like it's more voluminous, a little bit thicker, and helps it to stay hydrated. Let's start with primers. I'm gonna try to like talk about a few favorites. I have a lot of Sephora products, but I'm gonna talk about the ones that I really stand behind and really think you will get great value out of using. And a common occurring theme amongst all these products is they help increase the longevity of your makeup, which I think is where you get your value, because something that increases the longevity of your makeup or something's just generally long lasting, I think you're getting your money's worth. This Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer is kind of like spackle. If you want to fill in your pores, and even if you're not wearing much makeup or not any makeup at all and you just want to kind of diminish the appearance of your pores, this does a great job at filling it in. I feel like it's really hard to overuse this product. Like you really don't need too much of it, but the likelihood of this pilling is usually like very minimal and you really only need a small amount, and this jar has lasted me like literally 2 years, and it's probably like time I need to replace it because this is just like a skin hazard at this point. But this really will last you a long time and is really great at specifically filling in your pores. If you have a little bit more oily skin or you're going to a hot vacay destination, like I went to Hawaii last year and I brought this primer with me and it did wonders. This is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. This does a great job at mattifying your face, making it less oily, helping to kind of keep the oils at bay and peeking through your makeup, which can definitely happen if you have oily skin or are in a hot environment. And this is one of those products that also will help increase the longevity of your makeup, because if it's, if your skin is too oily, things are more likely to slip and slide or patch and blotch, and this will keep that at bay. And if you're looking for something that kind of functions as a moisturizer and a primer at the same time, I really like the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This has a lot of skin nourishing ingredients in it, and I feel like makeup just like glides over this, and this works really well with a lot of products. Like I feel like when I use this, barely do any like makeup products. And sometimes when you use a certain primer with a specific foundation, there is a chance for it to pill and kind of like patch off your face. With this, I feel like that almost never happens. Foundations, let's talk about it. These are what I would go for if you want to take advantage of the Sephora sale. Skin tints are definitely in, and this is one of my favorites. If you have what you perceive as imperfections that you want to cover up, this might not be the best product for you. I also like the Beauty Blender Skin Tint, which I feel like is a little bit more coveragey than this and has a very similar finish, but I don't know if they're discontinuing it because it's on sale and a lot of the colors are like sold out, so I'm not too sure. That one is still a great product, and if it's still on sale or you can get it at your local Sephora, like I would go for it. Sometimes I just don't want too much coverage. If my skin's looking good and I just want to even it out just a smidgen bit, this product really sinks into your skin. It's really emollient. This is the Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I feel like it does all its claims. It definitely hydrates, it smooths, and it corrects. It doesn't correct in a way where it's like medium coverage. This is definitely a very light coverage. If you want something that you can even apply with your hands and just kind of throw it on and go out the door, this is like fabulous. I can't recommend this enough. Something also similar to that product but has a little bit of an SPF in it and just a smidgen bit more coverage is the Your Skin But Better CC New Glow from IT Cosmetics. This has an SPF 40 in it, but as I said before, like with these products you need to use a lot of product to actually make the most of the sun protection factor that is in the product itself. This is like, I would say like a light to medium coverage skin tint slash foundation. This makes your skin just glow, and it really is one of those products, kind of like the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint, that really pulls into your skin and kind of looks like it becomes one with your skin. I'm currently wearing it right now, and honestly, like, it doesn't look like I have anything on my skin, but I also look much more evened out and I have like a nice healthy glow to my skin. Really, really recommend this. IT Cosmetics does a great job with like these kind of CC creams and skin tints. If you're on Beauty Talk, you have probably seen a lot of people rave about this foundation, and for good reason. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I think this has fermented arnica in it, which helps with inflammation, I believe. This is like a gorgeous foundation. If I want a little bit more coverage, but I still want it to look relatively skin-like, this is really great. And it has actually, for something that's very hydrating and gives your skin a more radiant finish, this lasts a long time. And there's been multiple shifts I've worn this into the hospital. It doesn't really wear off in a way where you look patchy or blotchy, in my opinion. Like, everyone's skin is different. This wears off in a way where it just kind of looks a little bit more dewy. It doesn't look like atrociously greasy. You just kind of look like you're wearing like a tinted moisturizer. That's how I perceive it. This has like such a velvety texture. It really blends into the skin. And I really recommend this. It's also like a clean formulation. I don't really know exactly what that entails, and I feel like it's a marketing gimmick, but if you care about clean, non-irritating products, like, this is a really great one. Another one of those that everyone raves about for good reason. This is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. This is one of those products that is unusually like full coverage, but blends seamlessly and looks really skin-like and natural for something that has this amount of coverage. Because of the way this blends, if you want to even just use this as foundation or kind of just sheer it out, this is like fantastic, and it never looks really patchy. No concealer is truly crease-proof, but I feel like this concealer is very crease-resistant, which, you know, maybe I don't have the most credibility because I don't have a lot of creases under my eyes, but I do feel like this doesn't bunch, and it gives you nice coverage, and especially if I'm sleep-deprived in my dark circles, I don't really have significant dark circles as well, but they can get accentuated by really poor quality sleep, and if I need something more high coverage, that is the one I'll go for. It has this like nice doe foot applicator that is triangular that helps you really kind of get in to the inner corner, which I think is one of the key areas you want to brighten. Something similar to it, but I feel like has a little bit more of a puffy texture, and it will help actually depuff your eyes. Something similar to the Danessa Myricks, but has a little bit more of a creamy texture and will depuff your eyes, is the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer by Danessa Myricks. Another great product that you can use all over your face, underneath your eyes. Like I said, it has a little bit more of a creamy texture to the Danessa Myricks, and I feel like it's a little less juicier. This has a little bit more of a natural, leaning, radiant finish, in my opinion, whereas this is like a slightly bit more mattifying concealer. I really enjoy it though, and once again, it's similar to the Danessa Myricks where it's relatively crease resistant. If I'm having like a light coverage day, or I'm just like running out the door and I don't want something that's too heavy, I adore this concealer. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Smooth and Blur Undetectable Concealer. It does all of that. It smooths, it blurs, but it's not the most full coverage. So if you have significant dark circles, you might not be a big fan of this, or you could be too if you want something like natural and you want to embrace your dark circles. This could be great. This is a liquidy formula that really blends seamlessly. It feels kind of like weightless on your skin. Sometimes I don't like my makeup to feel heavy, and this is the exact opposite of that. This almost feels undetectable on your skin while also giving you a nice bit of coverage for your under eyes. When it comes to pressed powder, I really have not found a better powder than this. It is expensive, but I think it's one of those products that is definitely worth your hard-earned money. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder. It really does live up to its name though. This definitely makes your skin look very flawless. It is a finely milled powder, so it doesn't ever look cakey. It also, I feel like, looks better on your skin once it sits a little bit and kind of just pulls into your skin and melts into your skin. It's not the most brightening powder out there, but if you want something that's going to look natural and just simply set your makeup, I really think that this powder is fantastic. It's just very blurring and I love it. If you also want to do baking and really kind of like lock in your makeup, this is a great powder. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. Once again, a very finely milled product. Really makes your skin look very poreless and smooth, and I could definitely use it right now and showcase you why this is a great powder. You're a little bit juiced up, maybe a little bit too juicy. You can simply just use a little bit of powder. You don't need much of it. And this will just literally blur your skin and mattify it without looking like too heavy or cakey. I mean, like, look at that. It's incredible. I feel like my makeup just like instantly looks so much better. This does a really great job at like taking away some of the shine without making you look, like I said, too heavy, too cakey. I really think it does a great job at locking in your makeup as well. Cream and liquid blushes are all the craze these days, and for good reason. I think they look really great on the skin. This is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. I try to remember that off the top of my head, and I think I may have succeeded. I did. This is in the shade Strawberry Sunset, and you might be looking at this and be like, holy fuck, that is crazy. That is very pink and very rosy, and it definitely is, but you really don't need much of this product, and it's one of those products that blends beautifully and wears a really long time, and I highly recommend it. It does exactly what it says. If you want your cheeks to look a little bit more plump, a little bit more flushed, this is the way to go. If you want your cheeks to look even more juicy, may I recommend these. This is the Hourglass Unreal Liquid Blush, and this is the Say Cream Liquid Blush. If you want a little bit more of a dewy, radiant look, this is the way to go. You really don't need much of this product. You only need like a few pinpoint drops, and this will do like your whole cheek for you. Once again, blends beautifully, wears a relatively long time for something that is this juicy, and it is really that unreal. This will just make your skin look really healthy. This has a similar effect, but I feel like this has a little bit more of a whipped and creamy texture to it. It has maybe a little bit more opacity. This, once again, blends seamlessly, wears a decently long time. I highly recommend it. I actually like this better than the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. I think that's what it's called. And it's only like $2 more expensive. Those $2 for a higher quality blush like this is worth it. Let's talk about some highlighters. The Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. Oh my goodness, guys. First of all, this packaging is stunning. This is one of those highlights that looks kind of wet on your skin. It has this like really finely milled glimmer to it. I mean, just like look at that. It's very silky too for something that has a little bit of a chunkiness to it. It's not like super chunky, but it definitely has that kind of glittery texture to it. But once it's on your skin, it just looks like wet. And I love that kind of like highlight. Let's put a little bit on my nose. This might be overkill. Whew. Yeah, my nose is like fucking. Rudolph, your career is over. Oh god, that might have been a mistake. Let's throw a little bit on the inner corner of my eyes. Why don't we? Yeah, this is just like gorgeous. I love it. And this will last you a long time too. Like I've dipped into this many times and it still looks like relatively like untouched besides like the mess around the pan. Don't mind that. Another highlighter that I absolutely adore and just recently got is this Glow Seeker highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Once again, I haven't even taken like the fucking film off, but look at that. The packaging is stunning too. It has like this nice weight to it. I don't really care too much about the packaging of products, but I do admire this packaging. It gives it like a nice weight and makes it feel very luxurious. This is one of those formulas that if you want it to be blingy, it will be blingy. But if you want it to be a little bit more subdued, you can definitely go in with a light hand with this and just have a little bit more of a natural glow. It doesn't really emphasize texture too much. And it's just like, oh gosh, I love this highlighter. It's amazing. Just has a very silky and very fine texture to it that I really appreciate. Get my hands all glowy, why don't we? Yeah, there's a little bit of a sheen to my hands now. Or maybe my hands were just sweaty. You may never know. Bronzer, bronzer, bronzer. Let's talk about it. If you like yourself a liquid bronzer, look no further than the Say Dew Bronze. Oh no! Similar texture to the Dew Blush, but obviously it is a bronzer. This works really great underneath and over your makeup if you like to do the underpainting technique, and blends beautifully. If you need to go over it with any product, I feel like it works really well for that. Highly, highly recommend, and I don't think it's that expensive for a Sephora product. If you love yourself a cream and stick bronzer, the one that I just dropped, this is the No Limits LYS Cream Bronzer Stick. I've used this before, and you don't really need too much of this if you are going for a natural look, because the blend of this is phenomenal, and this product really stretches. This will last you, I feel like, a pretty long time. Another one of those products that works really great underneath and over your makeup. This is like a dream product. Like the blend on this is incomparable to anything else out there. And I'm saying that in like the most positive way ever. I am not the biggest eyeshadow guy, but if you're gonna go for an eyeshadow palette that you want to get your money's worth and is really, really high quality, this is fantastic. This is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. And for someone who is lighter skinned like me, these tones are really flattering. I feel like these neutral leaning cool tones work really great for me. Let's demo a little bit right now. Like I said, I've tried filming this before, so I'm just gonna define my eyes a little bit. So let's try to go into wet. Have a little bit of kickback and fallout, but I think that it's a testament to how blendable this eyeshadow is. I barely dipped into it, but as you can see, the pigment is already paying off, and I feel like this is already opening up my eyes a little bit. I'm also using the shade Silhouette as my liner today. I appreciate this shade because it defines my eyes, but it doesn't look like a straight up like black felt liner, you know what I'm saying? And the wearing power of this is actually pretty good. And the shimmers in here, let's go into one, why don't we? Let's go into Sheen. This has kind of like a very similar texture, I feel like, to the Haus Labs highlight in a way. So as you can see, that just kind of adds like a little bit of a glimmer to my eyes. I kind of already had that highlighter on there, so it might be hard to tell. If you're going for natural glam, I'd say look no further than this eyeshadow palette. It's that stunning. It might be hard to pick up in the camera, but there's just like this beautiful glimmer. It's very dazzling. That's the way I could describe it. Let's swatch a few, why don't we? Let's go into the shade Ella. A nice kind of bronze, borderline chocolatey shimmer. The shade Mia. Yeah, that's stunning. Her shadows are always a nice quality. Go into Muse. It has a little bit more of a creamy texture to it. That just like not gorgeous. Really great palette, highly recommend. I don't really wear eyeshadow too much because I don't find myself in many occasions where I need to. If you want to invest in a nice eyeshadow palette that's very wearable, definitely recommend that one. Let us talk about eyebrows. Favorite brow pencil of literally all time is this Dior Show Brow Styler. This has like a nice fine point on it. Okay, y'all, what is up with all these brands reformulating like already amazing products? You want a great brow pencil? Go ahead and grab yourself the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. As it says in the name, has a very precise point on it, a multitude of shades. If you want like very light looking brows or very filled in brows, like that is your brow pencil for that job. Recently gotten back into brow pomades, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Taupe, and I'm wearing this right now as well. If I want fuller, more defined brows that have like a more structured shape, I will go in with this and a brow brush. I feel like my brows look really great today. Maybe they're not great. Sometimes I struggle with them, and a product like this is like really easy to work with, I feel like, because if you mess up, you can just kind of take like an edge of your finger and kind of like define the shape even more, and I feel like it just blends. When it comes to brow gel, I love this brow gel from Grande Brow. This is the 2-in-1 tinted brow gel with an enhancing serum in it. Using this product over time will grow your brow hairs and make them a little bit thicker. This also has like a great tint to it as well, so if you are someone who doesn't need to fill in your brows but you want to add maybe a little bit more color, tame down some flyaway brow hairs, this is fantastic. And it doesn't look too heavy, it doesn't pill. It just looks very natural. I think we're gonna talk about lips and setting spray, then we'll wrap up this video. Favorite lip pencil of all time, the Makeup Forever lip pencil. As you know, I appreciate a long wearing product, and this definitely is all that. This kind of color I feel like is really great for a nude shade on me. It just defines my lip shape while also lasting a really long time. Like, this is a very budge proof lip pencil. I'm gonna put some right now just for shits and gigs. And as you can see, that just defines my lip shape, and this will wear a long time. You should probably let it set, which I'm probably not going to do because I'm going to go into more lip products, but really highly recommend that lip liner. I'm not the hugest fan of lipsticks, even glosses from Sephora, because I think you can get great glosses at the drugstore, but there are some great balms that you can get at Sephora that I recommend. If you're someone who wants a little bit of a lighter, more buttery lip balm texture, then look no further than the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. You get quite a bit of product in here. This has like a very nice thin texture and a great smell to it. Oh god, I think I might have put on too much. Stop talking. And it just like adds like a nice sheer juiciness to your lips. Before that, I was wearing this product right here. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This is a similar thing to the Summer Fridays Balm, except I feel like this is a little bit thicker and has a little bit more staying power. It has a very slight tinge to it, but not too much. And I truly do appreciate both these products. These are great if you want to throw it in the purse on the go and just kind of reapply throughout the day. And last but not least, setting sprays. You guys, do not sleep on this Sephora collection makeup setting spray with ginseng extract in it. This is phenomenal, and it's really a good value at Sephora. And this is like a more budget-friendly option. Like, it's not super duper cheap in terms of like other products you can get at Sephora. I mean, this is made by the Sephora brand. The mist on here is just like unreal. Oh, it's just so fine, and this does a really great job at slightly mattifying your skin and locking in your makeup, but it doesn't overly dry out your skin at the same time. Something that is a little bit more expensive but a little bit more sweat and transfer proof in my opinion is this Makeup Cult Classic Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I'm not a huge fan of the mist on this, to be honest. It's a little bit more aggressive. It's not bad by any means, but it's a little bit more aggressive. This will definitely lock in your makeup. It does live up to the hype of being more sweat and transfer proof. And if you're someone who's going to a lot of classes, you're walking around campus, you're sitting in classrooms, you know, that school air, this is like it in terms of like setting your makeup. You really want to lock in your makeup. I have two options for you. If you have drier skin, I would recommend going for the Surf Proof Cali Ray Setting Spray. Definitely locks in your makeup, has a great mist on it. Ooh, look at that mist. So good. This is a very long wear setting spray. It's pretty water resistant, also somehow hydrating to your skin at the same time. does have a little bit of an oily or kind of gummy texture. It's not horrible by any means, but it's something that you want to be aware of because it does feel a little bit more detectable on the skin. But in terms of it being hydrating and long wearing at the same time, like I really appreciate that setting spray. Haven't we all seen this before? This is a brand new one that I just bought. This older one right here, maybe we can put a little bit on. This is the One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. I brought this with me on vacation before, and this will really lock in your makeup all day long. If you have really dry skin or really sensitive skin, wearing this over and over I definitely don't recommend because this has a shit ton of alcohol in it and will really dry out your skin. But if you're really going in for that like hairspray effect, you're wanting your makeup to like lock in, this product is like phenomenal. It's very hairspray-like. If you want like waterproof, budge-proof makeup, I don't think this completely makes your makeup waterproof, but it really does a great job at keeping things at bay and just mattifying your skin and locking everything in. I think this is like probably the best if you want budge-proof, locked-in makeup. Alright guys, that was a lot. I'm gonna need to drink like 2 gallons of water after this to rehydrate my throat. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful in some way and enjoyable. I really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. I know we are all busy and working hard to survive out there, so you spending your time with me to any extent, to any capacity, really does mean a lot, and I'm very thankful for all your guys' support. Subscribe for more upcoming content, and I will see you guys in the next video.